people of you have any idea what it is? Have heard about it? Have seen it somewhere? Whatever? Not at all. Great. That's a great business opportunity for us at this point.
Actually, the following slideshow and all the acting that we are going to do is going to talk about it, and this is pretty much how we have built it up. Is that as Kristo already said, that he's going to be the old style guy, like how it used to be, and the lean guy I'm going to be today myself. This is how the startups work today, and what we are going to try to give it to you as well. That like what should be the mindset, and how should you approach to your possible business.
Okay, so let's go on to our next slide. If we try to do it. All right. As you can see, back in the days, like all the businessmen had this same kind of feeling. They were like looking very good all the time and so on. But actually, we arrived at this point where now it's possible to also become a CEO when you look like this. And maybe what I can say that back in the days when I was still a school student like you, me and my business partners went out and smoked cigars and had this very nice thing going on, and I don't really understand what's this new style of thinking, that how can you look like this and do business like this? That's not acceptable for me.
Yeah, but actually nowadays, it really doesn't matter, who you are and what you look like, and it's all about your personality and all about your idea and what you can do, all about execution.
But let's go on and see what's next.
Before we go on, maybe I can just little bit elaborate on Henry Ford time. Kristo, are you still on the same side?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Why we put the Henry Ford here also was the fact that back in these days, you need to in order to actually have the business, you need to have a big corporation, lots of people working for you. So basically we can move on then, yeah.
All right. Let me tell you about the time when me and my business partners created this 5-year plan. We had the plan to change the world. We made this very specific plan, everything was detailed, and we started to build our product. It was the most awesomest product ever. We built it for 3 years because our plan was so good that we didn't need to do anything else than just build the product. And the cool thing also was that we raised millions of our investors' money. We got 20 million from that guy, 30 million from another guy. So in the end, we had like hundreds of millions to build the product that we had so specifically planned out. But unfortunately, in the end, we found out that there's no need for it anymore. And now I'm a bit in a difficult situation because they want their money back, but I don't have it anymore because we built the product for 3 years. But sometimes it happens, and now there are new ideas going and new money coming, and we have the same idea to hire programmers, put them in a house for the next 2 or 3 years, not let them go outside, not do anything, just build the product and see how it goes this time. Because if you fail, then do the same thing again and see, maybe you will not fail the next time.
Yeah. So this is how it used to be, all the planning and all the elaborate contribution there, to put all the Excels together and try to like impress someone, right? But what we see actually nowadays is that you just have to experiment, and you just have to learn from what you have been doing, and Kristo, I think you changed the angle a bit, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, that's better.
Sorry.
Okay, so I can see the people as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, what we do nowadays is that we just actually play around. We test different ideas. We don't put so many Excels together, and of course we are raising money for different ideas, but we are doing it differently. And and having fun on the way as well. That it's not all about the stress and the Excel files. It's more about just testing it out and see what works and what sticks.
We plan to build a rocket ship actually, and the idea was to get millions for it and make the plan and go with the plan, because that's how you do business the old way. But my good friend here for some reason thinks that you should do it yourself. I'm not sure what he means by it, but maybe he wants to explain it himself.
Sure. So what do we think about this, or what do we actually mean by this do-it-yourself way? Is that you don't actually need lots of money and lots of investment to start with. Yeah. So you can actually do it really inexpensively and just build several different versions of your idea first. And you don't need to overcomplicate it, because overall, as you heard before, when you're putting lots of money or lots of time into something and you don't know even if it's going to work, then it's quite a high risk, right? So what's our advice here is that try to build your minimum viable product, which means that it just works. It's just a prototype, something like that, and try to get it out there as quickly as you can, and basically take it from there. Because this then is where the market actually speaks. Do they actually need it or not? And when you can be there first, beat everybody else, then you have an advantage.
And there was a company actually in USA a few years ago that founded in 1999. A good friend of mine, old style way of doing business, and he gathered $1 billion, $1 billion of money. And the idea was that you can go online and get food brought to your home. But unfortunately, during that time, 1999, people weren't ready for it. So 2 years later, they found out that the people don't actually want this kind of thing at this point, and they had already gathered $1 billion for it. If they had gone with a new way of thinking, they would have gotten at first asked the people, do you want it or not, before getting $1 billion, spending it all and throwing it away. We see there is a difference also in the way how things are done. So I think the best way is to get this office, build those small boxes for everybody, because that's the best way to work every day. Come to your small box, you know the box already, you feel good in it, and so on, so on. And the most important thing is that I ask all my employees to be exact same time in the office every day. Otherwise, they're fired. And if they do not end exactly at the same time, then they're also fired. So that's my way of doing business, and I think it's the best way that I really recommend for you guys also.
Kristo, I couldn't really agree with you, because I think that actually what counts is results. And I know that the environment is important for you, but I think it's important for people to actually let them choose themselves, where they are most productive and all that. So what's good about the startups, and especially lean startups, is that you basically don't need much of this a costly environment, because all these cubicles and all that, it's quite costly actually, and it pays quite a lot to have this something around, So what I would do is either, I don't know, choose a different country or different environment, and we'll really concentrate and bit by thing, So this is how I feel, that when you choose your own environment on your own terms, then probably you can be more productive, and this is what you need nowadays. Maybe back in those days when you had internet only in one place, and which was an office, then it made sense, But at the moment, all you need is your laptop and that's it. So you can work from anywhere.
And as we see, that guy is enjoying himself in Miami at this point. So that's one way to also do business. And I was a few weeks ago, I just came back to Estonia a few days ago and was in Amsterdam for a few weeks. And he was here. So that was also a very enjoyable way to do business.
Yeah, Kristo, I'm very surprised actually that you came back, because I thought that you're going to be in Amsterdam, I'm going to be from Miami, and we were going to have the Stella conference, but good that you managed to come back.
Difference is, do you know it all, as I do, or I don't know why, do you ask, even like he wants to ask everybody, ask all the time. I think the way to go is, because we are specialists in my company, we know our customers, we know the people, so we make the plan and we realize the plan. What do you think of it,
I think that it's again bit dated thinking, because when you don't know what your customers actually need, you think you know, but when you don't ask, then you probably don't know, and when you don't know, then you're just wasting money and time and building something that nobody buys later on. How many of you actually know App Store? Yeah, everybody, right? So there are millions of apps actually that is proof of that. That nobody actually buys them. They're just built there. Lots of people have put their blood and sweat into it, their time into it, and maybe best years of their life into it, and then nobody buys them. Because they didn't ask first, they didn't they weren't interested what people want, and or maybe they even were, but they were spending so much time perfecting it that it didn't make any sense later on, because time has moved on. So you have to be quick actually and react to your customers, your potential customers' wishes, because they changes also.
So that's one way of doing it, but I still think that those guys who built those applications that nobody uses at this point have this feeling that they knew it all and they did it, and I think that's also probably a good feeling, that you invest a few years of your time to something you know is good, nevertheless nobody uses it. But
yeah,
so do it.
Because there's always an option that you were just ahead of your time, and the time will come and everybody will find your thing later on, right?
Absolutely. So
doesn't happen too often though.
Going on from here, my way of doing business, we have a lot of meetings because that's the most productive thing you can do in a company. We have managers, we have board members, we have like advisory board, we have advisory board Vault 2, advisory board Vault 3, and we gather those people every day and have meetings, because how can you do business when you don't discuss things? And we are discussing in our fancy conference room, as a lot of big companies and corporations are doing to this point. They're good. What do you think of that?
First of all, I would like to know how many of the young people there have been in a boardroom so far. Just a sign with a hand.
A few.
Oh, you see, there's actually some people that you can hire later on. Anyway,
new board members maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, you probably have noticed, that it's great to discuss things, but at the same time, it's actually taking us back to the next last slide. That you think that you're amongst the smartest people in the room and in the company, right? But actually, you still don't know before you get out and actually ask from people. And the most sense makes when you do it in their environment. So go there where your customers are. For example, in this picture, to get outside is in a bar, for example, or in a restaurant. and just find out, like asking in a friendly way, like what do they think of your idea, and would they actually buy? Don't be afraid to ask also this last closing question. Would they buy? How much they would pay? All that, because this is your best market research. You can't really know these things in your when you're staying in your office and in your boardroom. So yeah, that's the way.
So can you imagine, last night, me coming from my corporate office, from my corporate meeting, and I go past here. What do I see? Some startup people inside here having funny discussions, eating pizza, drinking beer. I don't know where this world is going like that. Why didn't they hold a meeting instead? It would have been more productive, but no, they came to Garage 48 to actually start and socialize and communicate. I don't know where this world is going. Hopefully I will be not around to see it.
I think it's actually quite a natural way also, because I think you guys there and I'm doing the same thing, is that, we're just talking with people, and we're asking from our friends, we are asking also from people we don't know, and also getting valuable feedback from there. That's the whole idea of it. And when we can have pizza and non-restrictive environment to do so, then I'm for it. Why not? In this picture, we want to tell you that you don't have much time. Every second there is somebody who's working on your idea, so you have to be fast. And this is the YOLO means here that your idea only lives once. So it's not only you, but your idea, because when you have some great idea and you don't implement it, you only talk about it or you don't. So whenever you have an idea, then get a quick feedback and try to implement it as cheap and fast as you can, because time is money, and generally this counts today, the speed, how quickly you can implement things. Yeah, this is exactly what all this presentation have been, or what's the startup lean startup model is about. You build first, you measure second, and you learn from it, and you repeat the process. Steve Blank have said, that the existing companies execute the business model, but startups search for one. So this is the difference between existing, companies that have been around, they know what they've been doing and all that, and startups that they're only on the search for their business model and how they're going to do things. So don't be stressed out when you don't know what exactly is going to happen. Uncertainty is part of startups, and especially part of these startups, and you'll get there. You probably find your business model, and then you can grow into this company that can just execute and do it over and over again.
All right, and I actually think it's our time now to make a short conclusion of everything we've been said. So from my point of view, please remember, spend as much as possible, get as much as other people's money as possible, and do not discover if there is a need for a product, because you're the man or girl, you know it, you are the most smartest guy or girl here. So please don't ask anybody, just do it, and do not learn because you know what you're doing. And yeah, that's the conclusion from my part.
From my part, and which is actually what we believe in, is that it's partly truth, that you can make money, but we believe that you can take it only when you have built something that actually works and actually is wanted. And when you have the proof of concept and people, your customers are actually paying you for that, even for the prototype, then you're on the right track, and then it's probably the right time to scale.
Okay, and please don't forget the meetings also. That's a very important thing. Have meetings all day long. Is that way too far? But guys, thank you very much, and thank you also from there Miami, speaking with us in this early hour. And I hope you got some inspiration from our thought, and maybe got better understanding like how the new way of thinking is can achieve great stuff. Thank you very much, guys.
Then I have to say goodbye, and I have to do it with the splash rod. So I have the pool here, and I'm going to just jump into it.
Come on, man! Do you know how cold it's here right now? -5 degrees. All right. Woo! Swim for us too.